Okay, so we're moving forward. Our next question is about a florist. The florist says some people like to have green carnations on St. Patrick's Day. Okay, that's definitely an opinion, for sure, right? But it also seems like it's, in essence, an opinion that's probably going to be supportive of something else, but we'll see. But flowers that are naturally green are extremely rare. Okay, that seems to be like an action we're going to have to take as a result of this. This is a limitation. Thus, it is very difficult for plant breeders to produce green carnations. That definitely seems, again, like an opinion or a conclusion. Before St. Patrick's Day, then, it is wise for florists to stock up on carnations, which are fairly inexpensive and quite easy to dye green. That seems to be like an action we're being told we should do. Generally, our conclusion will always be an action, much like a verb. And let's take a look at some of the other opinions that we saw throughout the stimulus to see if they're supportive of our conclusion or what we think might be our conclusion. First, we have some people like to have green carnations on St. Patrick's Day. Well, that would be a reason why we would dye them green, right? So that first opinion is definitely supportive of our then opinion. And then finally, we have, it is very difficult for plant breeders to produce green carnations. Well, that would be another reason why we should dye them. So it sure seems like our prior opinions / conclusory statements are all supportive of our current conclusion, or what we think is the conclusion at this point, supportive. And as a result, we would call those intermediary conclusions or subsidiary conclusions. A subsidiary or intermediate conclusion is language that is conclusory, but not the conclusion. So generally, it is an opinion, but it's not the opinion or the action being asked for you to take. Here, it's very clear that the action we're being asked to take is then it is wise for florists to stock up on white carnations, which are easy to dye green. Let's go through our answer choices and let's see if we can find something that matches that pattern that we're anticipating should be our conclusion. A says, it's a good idea for florists to stock up on white carnations before St. Patrick's Day. That sounds right on track. B says flowers that are naturally green are very rare. Very true, but that's not our conclusion. That's a subsidiary conclusion. It's a premise. Anytime you have a subsidiary conclusion, these are equivalent to premises. C tells us there are some people who like to have green carnations on St. Patrick's Day. That is definitely true. We're explicitly told that, right? Some people like to have green carnations on St. Patrick's Day. That's definitely conclusory, i.e. an opinion, but realistically speaking, it's really just background, right? It's background information, and it's supportive of the fact that we have this then statement that tells us what we should do about this information. D tells us white carnations are fairly inexpensive and can be easily dyed green. Yes, this is absolutely true. Now, that being said, that is a factor why we should stock up on the white carnations, i.e. supportive of our conclusion. So D is out. E says it is very difficult to breed green carnations. Again, supportive of us dyeing these white carnations green. So realistically, again, just supportive. So as a result, must be a premise that supports the conclusion. And again, our conclusion then must be A, which is it is a good idea for florists to stock up on white carnations before St. Patrick's Day. Many students have an issue with it is a good idea because it's suggesting something. It's suggestive of the fact that, again, this is an opinion. But that being said, to a great degree, our conclusion literally says it is wise for florists to stock up on white carnations. The "it is wise" could easily be translated into "it's a good idea." So we have "it is wise," and we have that being converted to "it's a good idea." Hope that helps.